Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World Championship 2025 meta-analysis for the Final Fantasy TCG. The tournament was held in Japan this last weekend, and the decks were just uploaded to Materia Hunter. Thank you to our MateriaHunter.com folks. First of all, congratulations to everybody who made it to Worlds. It was a really strong field this year, and a special congratulations to Air, our winner from Japan. He is an incredible player with a really good track record. I've seen him top a couple of Masters in the last couple of years. I am very happy to see him here at the top. That being said, watching the top 8 games, any of the folks here could have gone the distance. It was a truly spectacular weekend for Final Fantasy TCG, and I highly encourage everybody who did not see the live to go to the Square Enix YouTube channel and watch the VODs. You will learn a lot about the game and a lot of high competitive play. So today, we will take a look at the top 8 decks for the tournament, which will hopefully give us some insight as to which cards are the most played, what to expect moving forward, and the overall health of the game as it relates to deck diversity, at least at the competitive level. Now, this is a very important distinction to make because at a local level, so many fun decks are viable that do not feel discouraged if you don't see your favorite deck here, although there are some, at a glance, we will see that some of the fun decks actually did make it to the top. It is perhaps the thing I love the most about this game. The sheer amount of decks that are viable at the local level. It encourages diversity. It encourages creativity. This is why I love and I play this game. So let's get started with taking a glance at the most played cards first before we dive into the decks themselves. Starting with, obviously, Amaterasu. This card is defining the game and has been for the past, 4 years now. Canceling the auto of your most broken forward or backup. Very important. Lena, unsurprisingly, also here as well. We saw not a resurgence. We saw her be extremely played since she was revealed, and I think she'll continue to do so for the foreseeable future as EX bursts get better. Anti-EX burst cards like Lena, and you'll see down here Sid Wolf, get better. Ifrit, really good card. I think we saw a little bit more Clive Ifrit last year. Seymour, one of the new cards. I'm very excited for this one. I did say in my review that I expected him to do good things. I did not know if people would have had the time to test Ice, but it seems like we did. So good to see my boy here at 12 played total in the top 8, as well as Wook Lamad. This one did surprise me a little bit. I did not expect her to see that much play. I think a lot of decks were at 2. Instead of the 1 that I predicted. So yeah, very good. This card's so generically good that it is unsurprising. I'm very happy to see, 2 of our new cards here, which kind of speaks to the diversity of the meta being, or people not playing it as safe as I thought with the decks that they ran. The rest is pretty standard. Gucciolaine, Clive, Alexander, Ward. We saw a lot of warriors, as we'll see, so this is why you're seeing some of these like warrior cards. Sid Wolf, anything with ice is playing it. Realm, unsurprisingly, we're seeing monsters. A little less than I thought. 9 copies, so only 3 decks. Still, very well represented in top, but 3 decks, I kind of expected a little bit more. All right, so let's take a look at the decks themselves, starting with the 8th. And we'll start with a really fun one, and you'll see it right here. We have Class Zero Cadets. So Cadets players, you are rewarded. You made it. Cadets is a real deck. All right, so we have a Lightning Wind version. Skipping the Fire, which I think is the correct way to go. You take a lot of consistency away by playing Fire in this deck. I don't see anything particularly exciting. Actually, we do see Chaos Walker at the wheel from the new set, which is really cool because it seems like we're running both 7s, both the new Cancel 7 and the backup 7. That's really good here. And it also works with Cloud LB. You can Cloud LB, cast 1, cast 2, search this Cloud. This costs 2. Really cool for clearing out a board. Actually, this is kind of neat. I quite like it. The rest is pretty standard. You just play all your broken cadets that do things with each other. And let me see if there's anything. Oh, we're at 3 of the new 8, which is a little surprising just because this 8 has S, so I would expect to see the other 8 as well, especially if we're running Chaos Walker, which we can use to cycle through 8s. Um, and the fact that we're at 22 lightning cards, it's enough. But I'm frankly surprised to see this 8 only as opposed to both, instead of, like, let's say this one cater could be like a fourth 8. I don't know. This made the distance. I'm not a cadets player, but very happy to see, very happy to see it. I'm sure a lot of people are super excited to see this deck go the distance, quote unquote. Second deck was Mono Fire. Actually, we see 3 Mono Fires in top. I think it was a really good medical. I do know that some of our NA players were on Mono Fire as well. What do we have here? This is a Shinryu version. As far as new cards go, we do have the 2 Wuklamats here. This is on 5 Clives to capitalize on also like removing from the break zone. With Cloud, this Clive is actually really cool because Cloud, if this Clive sticks for some reason, this Cloud will draw you an additional card off of that Clive. So the Cloud becomes basically free. If you do the remove 2 cards in your opponent's break zone from the game, you draw 2. And if you actually do the cool thing, which is to play the security officer off of Cloud, which also draws you a card, it is a very good tempo swing. I actually really like Cloud. I'm happy to see him at 3 again. This card has too much text to not be played. I've been very surprised at how little play this has seen, especially when monsters were even more popular than they are. Cloud can actually swing the game pretty hard versus that deck. And he's also a fantastic neutral play, specifically in Mono Fire, because of this security officer. We do have Red 13, but it's not as good. But if you have nothing else to do, turn 2, or you need to put pressure on your opponent, if you play Cloud, remove 2 cards, draw a card, and then play security officer, draw a card, it's a neutral, like, 9k that built you a backup and drew you 2 cards and removed stuff from your opponent's break zone. It's very good. We see my boy Ace. That's really cool. End of the turn, deal 1 damage. Yeah, this is a pretty standard Mono Fire deck. Nothing. I'm trying to see if there's other than Wuklamat. Is there anything new that we're running here? Nope. Just standard Mono Fire. Pretty cool. I did not expect to see that many of those. All right, moving on to 7th place, Connor J, starting with what I assume is monsters. Yeah, pretty standard. Playing 15 total monsters with the Piranha. I saw a couple of decks with this tech here, just that one Piranha. Nothing too exciting or too different except for this Lightning. I think people have moved away from this Lightning, which it kind of sucks because I actually really do like the plays that you can do with this. I do understand that it kind of puts you off colors, but the times where you're rewarded for playing this are really good in Swiss, and in top, where your opponent knows that you're on it, they have to respect this card. And sometimes that leads to not swinging in where it might seem obvious, especially if you only have 1 CP up, right? In Swiss, 1 CP and 1 card could represent like Kuchulain. You don't know what your opponent's running, but you know they're on Water Lightning. You know, it's like, okay, they might have Kuchulain, that doesn't matter. And then you swing and it's removal. And that's cool. And like I said, when with open deck lists, you have to respect this card. Mira, I think I saw it twice as well this weekend. I love this card. I think the first time I ran this deck in a local qualifier, I did run one of the Mira, and she did not disappoint. Just a way to recycle some of your monsters for a body. If you have to swing with a blue worm early and then you sack it for a permanent 5k that can then kill things. I love this card. Everything else, very standard. Let me see if there's anything new that I might be missing. Nope, nothing in the LB, nothing here. So this is just an Opus 25 deck through and through. All right. Connor was also on Mono Fire. This one is different. We do not see as many Clives. Only 1 Wuklamad, the 1 Minwu. Kadaj. Wow. Cool to see this card still in... how many years has this been? This was like, I called this a COVID card. It was like right before COVID. So 2019, 2020. Clive, Ifrit, Terra, 3 Clouds as well, with just 1 security officer, really? Okay. Elwyn, nothing particularly new. Oh, three of this salamander. I actually really like this card. Um, when I tested Mono Fire, I've been a little afraid to use it, but I feel like it's like, especially if you can get something that can, like for example, Terra. Terra makes this cost 1. If you're at 5 backups, it's a lot of 7K to something, 5K to something else. For 1 is really cool. If there was a way, is there anything here that increases the damage of summons forward you control? No. If there's any way to increase your summon damage, this card's really good. But other than this, and two Amats, wow. Okay. Dang, there's certainly some choices here. We are on the goblins. Okay. Yeah, there's certainly choices here, and nothing new. Nothing else that's new other than like the Wuklamant. But it seems, like I said, Mono Fire was doing very, very good. We see 3 in the top, so excited to test it out and see which version I like the most, because it's one of my favorite decks of all time. All right, so we have 6 plays. Mark X. Mark seems to have taken number 1. This is Warriors. Yes. Okay, so this is the new version of Warriors. You'll see this deck twice. Really cool. Ice Fire Warriors. This one does run a bunch of the new cards, which I'm really excited to talk about. So we saw that there was a lot of Ice Warrior support this set. And we see a lot of it here, starting with the best, I think, Warrior card printed in a long time, maybe ever, other than Tyvus. Call. 2 CP backup, put it into the break zone, choose a Job Warrior, card name Warrior, add it to your hand. Really cool. Effect, it's exactly what you want to be doing. He is a warrior himself. He can be searched. He can get back your one-off Mog, right? Now you don't have to be running 3 Mogs. Mog is a card that he's so good turn 1, but you don't want to really draw into him later. It's just a 4K for 1. Essentially, it's not what you want to be doing later. So Call kind of lets us get away with playing just 1 Mog, and if we want to play him more than once, then we just get him back. Minimal water cards, just the ones that we need. Yusuke is still really good at denying Ifrit. Firion, obviously, broken card, and then Mog doing Mog things. The rest is purely Ice Fire. We do see, I do love the Vincent. Vincent is one of the cards that I think played off of Axstar kind of just swings the game so much in your favor. And I'm happy to see him at 3 again versus decks that really want to build backups, Mono Earth, Refia decks, etc. This can be an insane swing, or just a Vincent can just be can just stun your opponent for 1 turn and give you more time to find your other stuff. 2 wards. This Noctis, I saw it in 2 decks. I think there was like a buyout of this Noctis after this weekend. A starter card from Opus 21. This is from the Dissidia Final Fantasy deck, like the product. If you must control a category DFF4 to cast Noctis. When he enters the field, choose 1 dual forward opponent controls, break it. I didn't see it until someone explained to me off of Axstar. That means that you can break anything that's not a 3. That's really cool. And also, we do run DFF forwards. We run Firion and we run Vincent. So we can hard cast them if we need it. And also EX Burst, break it forward. Really, really cool. Wuklamant, as we expected, good warrior card. At 2, again, I predicted to see it at 1. I was completely wrong. Clive Ifrit, pretty standard. Ish. I didn't know what to think about this card, but honestly, just digging deeper and also having a dual freeze on forwards is really good. Especially, I think, in the mirror, like keeping your opponent from swinging at you. And my boy Seymour. So this is the bread and butter. This is why this deck I think is so cool. It's like 2 broken 5-drops, right? We have Tyvus and Seymour. Which one do you answer first? It doesn't matter. The other one's gonna kick your butt, right? I love this deck. I think this deck is extremely powerful, and you should expect to see a ton of this moving forward. As well, one of the things that I'm excited for is this Minwoo Joseph package, which is perhaps the best Ice Fire backup searching line, because this Minwoo freezing a character just building your backup line while denying your opponent a backup is huge. We just needed an excuse to play Icefire, and here it is. It's Warriors. It's really cool. I'm excited for this deck. Mateo's Amaterasu for summons. 3-sit Waff, obviously. I don't think this deck would be nearly as good without this card, because it loses on Lena. And Joseph also can search you, just to understand it, it searches Firion later. If you draw this a little later, you can always use it to find your other broken card. So very excited. Not much else to say there, but expect this deck a lot in the next few weeks. His second deck was Sky Pirates. I love this deck as well. This is the Mono Wind Sky Pirates, which is looking to abuse Fina, as well as this new Penelo, which I'm surprised he ran it at 2. Wow, this card is so good. I think I saw the other versions. Everybody was at 3, because the point of this deck, for those who don't know, you are looking to establish a big board of backups quickly with Fran. So spending no CP to play your Category 12 backups, and then Bosch drawing you 3 cards a turn, and now Penelo also drawing you 3 cards a turn and canceling what your opponent does. So what I've seen in the other versions is, I guess, okay, let me go back. This version seems to be still on the Legend Balthier plan, which is, you do all your stuff, you do all your forwards to do Yuna or Penelo, and then you activate everything with Balthier. So this is still on the Yuna plan. You'll see other versions of this deck that just eliminated the Yuna plan entirely for just Penelo, Bosch, draw 3 cards a turn. Kind of like a pseudo Dragoons deck, so to speak. And then you have Penelo as a cancel that's recurable, because this doesn't remove itself from the game. It goes into the break zone. And then Fina as another way to cancel. So it's basically you establish your board, and then your opponent will not play anything else, because you're going to cancel it, you're going to cancel it, you're going to cancel with this, you're going to recur with Balthier, you're going to cancel it again. You're going to cancel it, you're going to sack your Larsa, because Larsa says when a Category 12 forward is put from the field to the break zone, you may put it into your break zone, add it to your hand, add this back. This Penelo is going to be played 20 times a game. So again, this is one deck that you got to be in the lookout for. I expect to see a lot of this. Same, we have the new Vaughn here. I'm not like a huge believer of this card, but it seems like a lot of people played it at 2 or 1. So search for 3 Sky Pirate forwards or 2 backups of cost 2 or less, play them onto the field. We have no backups. So this basically says it's a 1 CP 9k, so to speak, and searches friend. I'm, again, not a big fan. 3 Alexander is, I think, almost mandatory nowadays because of all the monsters and the 5 CP or more forwards. All the Tyvuses, all the Seymours running around. This card's just broken, especially with Lulu, which makes it free from break zone. And we run a minimal Earth package, enough to run Shantoro, which is also a wind backup, even though it is Earth. Shantoro does gain all the elements, so she still turns on Fina. Kusith is a Category 12 card, which means it can be grabbed by Bosch. And in total, we have 36 12 cards. This Bash should not be missing whatsoever. So pretty cool. Oh, we see the new Rex as well. I wonder how that did. I did not see any of these games. I'm excited to see how this card did. It's draw 2, right? Category 12, so it can be grabbed by Bosch. Yeah, Sky Pirates. Again, another new deck that you should expect to see. And look at this. What are we? 3 slots in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks. This is looking really good for the game. All right. In 5th place, we have Jeremy C. Jeremy was on Mono Ice, a man after my own heart. Let's see, what do we have here? Obviously, we have Seymour, we have Locke. We expected this to happen. We went with the Gimme Cat Biblos monster package with Nakmodala to search them. Very cool. Shiva as the best Mono Ice summon. With this Zalera, I have seen a lot more of this card to answer early 5-drops. Make your opponent discard, especially off of Seymour, is fantastic, because Seymour makes it free, right? So if you play Seymour, let's say you play 2 backups turn 1, and your opponent does their Tyvus thing, you can just go, pay 1, pitch, Seymour, pay 1, make your opponent discard Zalera, pick 5, so sack that, discard again. Right? It's really cool. I really like this. We're on Charlotte. I've been a little lower on this card, but glad to see it here. Just because it's so, to me it seems like such a swingy card. Whereas if you play it early, it's fantastic. If you draw it late, it's a dead card. But I might be wrong. I might need to test a little more with it to see if there's something in particular that I'm missing. The rest is standard. I think with Lock, everybody has been on one Argeth because this play of Lock into Argeth, if you need to be the aggressor, this is so good. This just it gives you 2 forward, denies your opponent a card, and probably either freezes or draws you a card. Last Will, because it's Last Will. Why not? Sephiroth, good one-off always. Shintoto, Rufus. We're on Xenos. I haven't seen this card in a while. Choose 1 for a costlier, let's break it. Your opponent discard. He also discards you. That's really cool. You know what? I never thought of this. That's really cool. This triggers Lock from your break zone. Huh. That's cool. You know what? I'm gonna test this. Yastrola, Kurasame. If we're mono ice, yeah, we're running the Kurasames, we're running the Anima. I like this. I've been testing this and I really enjoy it. The 1 Kuja. Sometimes, Ice doesn't have a lot of good backups that break themselves. And sometimes you're at 5 and you keep drawing them. This guy just says discard 2, and then I'm a really sticky forward. Yeah, this is really cool. If you're looking to delve into mono ice, this is a great starting point. Then his second deck was mono fire. So we were on 2 mono decks. This man is a beast. And his mono fire deck is different from the other 2. That's really cool. So we are on this is my personal take on mono fire. I love this. This is the Joshua Zidane package. Kind of like you can still do your mono fire things, but in control matchups, you just go for the mill. You try to get your opponent to 0 cards and beat them. So if you draw this, you just pitch it for himself, right? And, put 2 cards from the top, but then you can just get him back with Joshua into Phoenix. It's interesting that the package is just 1, 1, and 1. It's not bad because this Joshua actually, if you have one of these Phoenixes already in break zone, that Joshua will recycle it and then he can prime into it. But this runs the risk of you hitting your Phoenix to damage and then your Joshua's like pseudo useless. We do run the other Phoenix that draws 2 cards. I personally run a little bit, I lean a little bit heavier into this package, especially because we run another really cool 2-drop in Leftia. But we'll see. Let's see what else he ran. He ran the Buklamats. Again, everybody on this. Zeromus as a one-off. We do have Elwyn to search it. People were a lot lower on this card than I thought they would be, and I'm kind of starting to be convinced that it might not be as good as it seems, though we haven't really seen it in action. So we'll see. I don't know if I'd run it. Same with this Bakul. When he enters or leaves the field, remove the top card of your deck from the game. During this game, you can cast it at any time you can normally cast it. Sure, we're on Cloud with Security Officer. We're on Susano. That's cool. We have some board wipe and the Demon. For summons, we're an Ifrit, Amaterasu, 3 CP Ifrit. I like this card. Phoenix. Oh, we're on this Phoenix. Okay, that's cool. So this is how we get back our Zidanes, etc. Personally, is there any way that we abuse I'm trying to see this. I guess with Susano, right? You have a cleave. I'm just trying to see if there's any way to abuse this Phoenix. I guess with the Demon, but this is like really expensive board wipe, quote unquote. I personally run like the 3 CP Phoenix that you can dole 2 things and it's free to get back the Zidane. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty standard. Phoenix, I think, should be in every fire deck. This card is so good. And we have the package of VVs and our backups that kill small things. This is one of the reasons why Mono Fire, I think, was also one of the calls, not only because, Cloud answers monsters very well, you have kind of like answers for everything, but your backup line, just playing your backups, kills all the little last balls and all the little guys, like the Mogs and stuff. They just don't do anything because your normal backups, which you will be playing anyway, just kill it. Just kill it with Mont Blanc, kill it with Red, kill it with Zonde, kill it with Vivi. So really cool. I'm very happy to see Mono Fire do so well. We have 3 Mono Fire decks in top. That's fantastic. The most we've seen, I think. All right, moving on to top 4, the big boys. Starting with our good friend Ghoul, Daniel G. I'm very, very happy to see Ghoul top 4. I know that he is a grinder. If you check him out on YouTube, he always has some really good insights onto, car. He does like really good set reviews, everything you want. Very excited to see. He's in Australia now, so I can't. But I still consider him like an NA player. Like, I'm sorry, Ghoul, if you're an Aussie now, but he, very, very cool to see one of our boys right up there with the best. He was first on Mono Ice, another Mono Ice deck. Let me see here. We have really, really nice new card, Snavlinka, when she enters the field. Yeah, very aggressive card that can also be removed when you need her. I think this card, taking a look at it after the fact, is so good. It's so flexible. I don't think we have a lot of cards like this that are this flexible, where you can be either the most aggressive card in the game or removal, or both if you're at damage. Damage 5. But being a dark card is what stops it from being super duper played. But in Ice specifically, where you can search her with Shujin, that might be the way to go. And I also think this text is good enough that you will, especially in mono decks, you just run one off. There's all the text in this card is good. You will find a use for this card. It will kill something, or it will kill your opponent. And these are the 2 things that you're trying to do in the game. So I'm happy to see her. I think we'll see more of her. It's a very underrated card right now, in my opinion. For the rest, we have obviously the 3 lock, the 3. Oh god, I almost missed it. I'm like, you're on 3 Seymour, right? Yeah, 3 Seymours. 1 Argath, like I said, with lock, pretty standard right now. 2 Lastful, that's fine. If you're not running any other night package, Lastful is fine. Sarah Mobius, in this deck, I don't know. I know Ghoul likes this card a lot. I don't know if this is where I would play her, but oh well. Len is pretty cool, especially if we're a little bit low to the ground. Like here, you see how many 2-drops we have. Like, Len can hit some really cool stuff. 1 Vincent, which I guess we can find it with Iseo when we need it, but just 1, no. So that means that you don't have an S. It's really this is a really cool card. I think most Ice decks should run it. I would prefer it as a 2-off. I think as a 1-off is like, 1-offs are searchable ways to answer things, and we don't really have too much searching or drawing that I see. So how to find these 1-offs, I'm not sure. 3 Terra. I suffer from the I don't run EXs issue, and this kind of helps, especially when you run the Shiva. This card is really cool because it's either a flexible summon that you need in certain matchups, so you can run a bunch of like 1-off summons, etc., and you get them when you need them with Terra, or in matchups where you don't need those summons, this is a 1 CP dole free something because you just play the Shiva for free. So very, very in agreement with this card as a 3-off. 1 Jill, we seem to just play. We don't have any Shiva, so we just play it as a repeatable break something. I think, yeah, if you don't want to be attacking, like with Seymour, I guess this kind of gets the job done. Is this the best card to be running? I'm not sure. I'm very excited for the video to see what the logic was behind some of these cards. 2 Shintoto standard, 3 Rufus, so we're back to Rufus to abuse with lock. 2-ish, 2 Anima, those are standard for. We saw these in the previous decks, and I know Ghoul really likes this card. Summons, we run 1 Shiva, 2 Mateas. Yeah, these are pretty cool, pretty good. Celera, I'm higher on this card than some of the people here, it seems. I think I'm higher on this Zalera, lower on this Mateus. I know that might be wrong, but there's so many decks right now where this just wipes their board. And actually we saw that. I think it was top 8, or was it in Swiss? We saw a matchup where Ghoul seemed to be dead on board. Like it was like there's no way you come back from this. It was a Warriors field of like 5 forwards. And Ghoul goes like empties his hand, does anima, Dole freezes their board, and he top sticks this Zalera and just wipes the board. It was like, oh, that's so good. But I didn't know at the time that this is a one-off. So I'm like, you top deck your one-off. Like this should be, I think, a little more than a one-off. For backups, we only run 13. Unalesca, really good with Log, Cisne. This is a card to get off of Rufus. Obviously, we're on Sid Wolf. This searches Lock. Quistis, G Deleter, Sail, Emina. I'm wondering. I want to see the video on this because I don't know why this is. This is gonna sound dumb maybe at a glance, but I don't know why this is a mono ice deck. There's not really any rewards for it sticking to just ice. I guess G Deleter, but you're on 13 backups. So how often are you on enough backups to Cascade Sith or G Deleter? This seems like a deck that wants to be at like 2 backups, 3 at most, and play off of those. But then it's running like mono ice, very few mono ice payoffs that I don't know. Could this deck have been Ice Lightning? Maybe that's my thought, because you saw the other ice decks. They run like the Kurisames, etc., which are mono ice payoffs, more backups to Cascade Sith. This seems like it wants to be low to the ground, and there's no reason not to add a second color. That's the way I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm waiting for the video, but I'm interested to see the reasoning behind sticking to mono other than consistency. But I think at this point in the game, 2 colors is almost as consistent as 1, especially if you're not running payoffs for mono. There's no reason not to be in 2 colors. That's my thought. That's my philosophy. I might be wrong. And his second deck is, unsurprisingly, Refia. The Ghoul is like a Refia champion. Like, he plays this deck to perfection. He plays it so well. So not much to see here. We are in the Bart's. This is the first Refia we're seeing in top, which has moved into the Bart's version, which I definitely agree with. And it is because of this. You see this one-off right here? This card just broke Bart's. It seems so dumb. But the fact that now you have a curve where you can, Sarah FFL into 2 Bart's, and then you can go turn to Bart's, search this Cryo with doling the Sarah for a Bart's, and then Bart's for another 2 CP backup, and keep 1 card in hand. So you keep your best card instead of having to go empty-handed. Huge difference. Huge. Yeah. It's a traditional Bart. Oh, he's on Cryo. That's really cool. This is nice because you can run both Cryos just because this is 14. I guess we really do like the name Cryo. But yeah, this card's really good here. Just draws you a card and lets you play things for basically free of cost 5 or less. What are we playing? Arc and Terra. Oh, Terra for a 3 is actually really good off of this Cryo. But it's just a cheap dig 4, draw a card. Still good enough. Bart's, how many are we on? We're on 6 Bart's, okay. Ferris, 1 Onion Knight. I know he really likes this card. I agree. This is a Cloud LB. And in a deck where this LB Warrior of Light might be better than this Warrior of Light often, another Warrior of Light forward is the way to go, right? Bart's is very good at getting this Warrior of Light online more than the traditional Refia. So, yeah, this seems to be everybody's agreement on the way to go. For summons, we're on our package of Kuchulain, Kusith, Mistragon, Amaterasu, all at 3, and 1 Alex, which I do agree with. Wall, how many? Oh, we're on 13 wind? Oof, that's risky. So Wall, usually I see it with a little bit more wind. Sometimes I do see Arc backup, but Ghoul is on the forward. Yeah, it's just pretty standard. Ingus, Cryo, Tyro. Ingus here because we're only on one cryo. We dropped the 4-drop as well completely, so we do need a little bit more Earth. Yeah. This is the way to go for Refia, it seems. And you'll see it again at top because that's one of the decks that Air won with. Third place, Sid. If you haven't seen the games, again, I highly encourage you to go see. Like, all of Sid's games were really good. He was so close. There was a game between Sid and Air, which I just saw. Sid could have taken that. He got very unlucky. That's why I say any of these players could have gone the distance, because it's card games where obviously skill is highly rewarded, and not to say that anything wrong about Air. I think Air is one of the best players ever. But any of these guys could have taken it. It was so good. It was so close. So his first deck was just traditional. What is this? Is Warriors? Yes, traditional Warriors. Water, fire. We did not play any of the ice other than the traditional Axstar. Now this is where this is the card I want to talk about. Zandy. I seem to have been dead wrong about this card. I rated it pretty low, but I have since learned that for decks that want to answer specific cards via stuff like Clive Ifrit, Zandy kind of accomplishes the same thing with 3 slots instead of 6. So weaker Clive Ifrit, but opening up 3 slots for your deck. Potentially 4 if you only run 2 Zandy. That is huge. In a game where your deck has 50 cards and no sideboard, opening up even 1 card can be very important. The fact that this can open up 3 by replacing Clive and Ifrit in certain decks, not in everyone. I'm looking at this card very differently now. The rest of the deck, pretty standard. 3 Wooks, so we really like Wooklamad in this deck. Very high on summons. I see that we have this. I haven't seen this Leviathan in so long, and I love this card. 6 auto cancels. We really like our auto cancels here, and 6 CP Leviathan. This is maybe the first deck I see with it. I think we saw less Wall 7 than I expected. So this Leviathan is not as good. In a Wall 7 meta, this Leviathan is insane. But right now, it seems to be okay. I don't know how well this performed. It is a good Luna Freya hit, regardless, though. So we'll see. Backups, Vivi, Lena, Yosef. Oof, very good. I like this as a way to search Firion. Loporet, Naimia. So we really leaned into EX. How many EX bursts are we on? 21. Okay, we really wanted those EX bursts. So a lot of these are just here because they say EX on them. Naimia just draws you a card. Hilda draws you a card. Yosef draws you a card. Lena, Vivi kills something. Naji draws you a card. Yeah, this is bread and butter Ultima Weapon. I'm gonna start calling it Ultima Weapon Warriors, because the benefit of this version is that you get to cast this card. And this card, and I did see him play. He was very aware of when he could cast this card, and he would cast it early. I think one of the mistakes that people make is it's forgetting that this exists, and this is a really insane tempo swing. If your opponent plays 2 forwards, you just, here you go, 6. I pay 6 from LB. Get rid of those. Here's a 9K. Have fun with it. Yeah. Moving on to his second deck was Pirates, Sky Pirates. This is the version I was referring to before. So this is the 3 Penelo version with the Sky Pirate backup, Philo, and Kites. So the other version only had Kites. This one has Philo to enable Penelo. This Fran, I had to think about it for 2 seconds. Why are we running this Fran? So there's 2 reasons. 1, another Yote search target. And 2, this actually enables just Balthier to turn on Fran. What do I mean by that? If you're at 3 or 5 backups, hopefully, because that's how this curved out very well, you play Balthier. He enters, he plays Penelo from Break Zone. If Fran is on the Break Zone, you pay 1 win and bring her back. And then you have your 3 Sky Pirates for Penelo. That's really cool. I never saw this. It's also a really good target to mill with Bosch, right? You just want her. You always want her in break zone. So here you go. He puts it there for you. I love this. I love the version of this deck. We're on the full Penelo Fina. Like I said, they're not. This guy's not letting you do anything. Penelo comes back with Balthier and with Larsa, and every turn just draws you a card, negates an opponent's thing. Draws you a card, negates an opponent's thing until you have such a big board and just swing out and win. We're on only one Van, which I have to agree on this card. I think this card should be probably a 0. I don't know how good it is. It just opens you up to things that I don't know if it's what this deck wants to be doing, right? But again, other experts can correct me. Bosch, Ash, Gabranth, yeah, this is your standard Sky Pirates with the Lulu Alexander. This should be standard in every Wind deck moving forward. 1 Mist Dragon, pretty cool. It's not a category 12, and it is an Earth card, so I do understand why it's at 1. And also we have Lulu to recur it, so we're fine. And then Kusith, Dryad, Alexander, 3 Totos. Wow. We really, I mean, this is kind of like mono wind. This is like a fair mono wind. I like this deck. It's not depending on just casting a billion things a turn. And it can be slow because it can run and cast Shintoto. 2 aces, so we are leaning very heavily into building a big board of backups and forwards and cheap forwards, and then just acing your opponent twice, kind of like what Mono Wind wanted to be doing. All right, moving on to the top 2 decks. Shonen played incredible decks this weekend. Incredible decks, yeah, but incredible games this weekend. It was very fun to watch any of his games. I was actually rooting for him. I don't know Shonen, but just seeing him play a couple times, I was like, this man plays very well. So I would have been very happy to see him win as well. We have the Ice Fire Warriors. We already discussed this deck. I think what we see different here is that he's on 1-ish instead of 2, and this at least, man, that is a tech. Let me see, what does that get? It gets us up to 11 EX bursts. This is a burst. Like, this is a card that's something. If you curve into this card, right? If your opponent gets to play 2 backups turn 1 to your 1 backup, which it's very rare nowadays to play 2 backups turn 1. But if they do, this just says you're not playing the next turn, right? It's cool. It's cute. I do not recall seeing it in action that much. Maybe I haven't seen every single game. But hey, it is cool. 3 Vincent, like I said, off of Axstar, really cool. I keep saying cool. Clifford, Seymour, Tyvis, yeah. It's same Mateus, Amaterasu. Yeah, it's the same deck. It's just maybe 2 cards different. And Shonen was also on Monsters. Mira, again, we're not on the Earth Lightning. We're on the Water one at 3. But the rest is the same. I don't know if him and the other gentleman were teammates or what have you, but they seem to run the same decks with the same text, like the one Piranha, the one Mira. We're here on Kuja, Lena, Lumina. Yeah, this is standard Monsters with the exception of Schultz. This is one of my personal favorite cards of the set. Top 3 cards. You stack a EX Burst on top. When you you stack an EX Burst second from the top. Because if you reveal the top one and it's a water card, you add it to your hand. There is enough water that this should never be whiffing. And this also lets you protect certain cards from damage as well. You put them 3rd from the bottom, or if you know how to. Not from the bottom, from the top. If you know how to stack your deck, knowing what your opponent is doing, this card is very strong. It lets you draw exactly what you need when you need it. We're on Sarah to get drop. Yeah, we get the Lena off of this. Is there anything else that we can get? Can we get anything? No, we cannot. Okay. Yeah, not much to say. It's Water Lightning Monster. We've seen it perform very well these past few months. And then let's go to the Champions decks. Air. This is unsurprising. I think this is the deck that he has been playing for the longest time. He always runs it with a bunch of backups, like 21 plus backups. That's like the signature air game, which is to run Refia and just never ever get stuck on backups because we run too many. I am very surprised. He is on Barts. He's on 4 Barts. I'm personally very surprised just because the reason that you play Barts, in theory, is to run more threats, less backups, because Bart searches your backups. But it seems like he did both. He's playing both Barts and he's still at 21 backups. So the Barts is just a flexible, he's treating it as like a flexible, I search what I need at the time kind of card, right? You see one-offs like this Lena. You see this Lunith, which is really good versus Knights, right? It deals 5,000 damage to all the 4's opponent controls. It can also, I think, kill opposing Barts. The 3 of the crowd, 3 King Tycoon. This I was very surprised to see. It is again insane EX burst, especially because we're running the 4 Atlanta. So it either becomes excuse me, it either becomes removal or search early if you need it, and later in the game it becomes Elena S to get back another Refia. So I do agree with it. It is a thing that some people have tested, running one of this Lena, so that you can, it represents an extra Refia later, or an extra Ferris or whatever off of this Lena. And early, you might need the removal, you might need the search. 2 Zidane, 2 Ferris, standard, 3 Wars. So, like I said, 16 forwards only. So this deck is just depending on getting all your backups, getting Refia online, and just letting her carry you. It's how good this card is, right? This card is so good, it just carries you through a game where you're basically just drawing backups. Who cares? You're playing a bunch of LPs that are high power, or just little bodies that draw you cards. The Warrior of Light just protects your board. It's just, this deck still good. Kuchulain, Kusit, Brynhilder, 1 Mist Dragon. There's another deck where it's just so 1 Mist Dragon. People have been cutting it. I personally have been cutting it to 2 in a lot of my decks. It is the clunkiest of the cards that you can draw sometimes. If you're at 3, you sometimes you draw 2 and you don't know what to do with it. 1, I'm a little too scared to run just 1, especially because we have no Summon Regurgin here. Nope. No. So I'm iffy on it. I run it at 2. We'll see. Brynhilder, very good right now, especially versus aggro decks, Knights, etc. Kill, force the Mog to die or give me a card. And the Amats. Yeah. Nothing much to say other than, the 3 Crows and this 1 Lunith. That's a really cool tech card. Finally, Monster. So, I have to make this comment now. The World Championship decks, if we get another World Champion decks to purchase, it's going to be a Monster deck, and it's going to be a Refia deck, just like 2024. So make of that what you will. But today we're looking at Mono Water Monsters. I know this deck was extremely popular in Japan. I think the last Masters had 5 in the top 8 or something like that. Everybody was on this deck. But it seems like here it wasn't as represented. It only won the entire thing. But in terms of representation, only 1 in the top 8. We're doing monster things. We're doing our our Broken Little Realm, our Pokemon Master searching our Pokemon, with a really high emphasis on bounce and self-bounce, because we are also on the Lena Lev package. So the cool thing about this deck is that it provides the flexibility of what to do. Are you a Realm Witch deck, versus a deck that is weak to Realm Witch? If not, we can be an aggressive deck thanks to Gao. A lot of people see 3 Gaos and wonder what the heck is going on. Why 3? It seems like too much. Honestly, Gao's just good. It just removes a forward, but it also provides haste, a hasty attacker, because he can immediately dole to make one of your sometimes useless monsters, like let's say this Kodaf, after it lands, into an attacker and just swing out for 8 immediately. So it can represent lethal in a mono water deck where you just don't see it coming. We do run one Tros, one Titas also to draw cards off of our opponent returning cards to hand. We do run the Sahagin Chiefs to bounce our ashes, bounce our levies. I think this is a deck where if you establish a Sahagin Chief early, you have to kill this deck before it gets to Lena Levy. Like, you're not gonna beat it. It's so difficult to get past these three cards, or these two cards. This card, it is such a broken card. I don't know. I hope that's what he picks for the for the promo. It's a card that every time you see it land, you're so frustrated because now you have to. It's kind of like old Althea, where now you have to play a game of chicken of who's are you gonna sack it first or am I gonna like remove first, right? And that creates an extra layer of not only skill but of tension and gameplay, which is always in favor of the person with the Sahagin Chief. Most of the time it is. Especially when you have either a Tros or a Titas to, if I bounce your stuff, draw. Levy, Ash, yeah. This is just a really strong deck. We're only on these just because I think this would be on Kuchulain, but Kuchulain is on the other deck. So we just go with our auto cancel and our 6CP Levy, which is fine. Quadav is a way to deal with early aggression, early 2-drops off of Realms. Sahagin as well. Very good with Leviathan. Apkalu. Yeah, pretty standard. We're doing Marlboro Witch stuff, and our backup line is just clean with a bunch of EX bursts that we can run. Hilda, Schultz, Waka, Naimia. This is the type of backup line that I like. I think I mentioned that in a previous. I like if you have named backups like three Thornton, then everything else, if it's named, it's one-offs, right? For LB's Little Lila, wow, I haven't seen this card in a while. But to be fair, yeah, this is what he needed to run this because I think he's on Leo on the other deck, right? So you really don't have many options. So just run whatever. I don't think you. I think most games you want to be Titasing twice, or if you don't, then you go like Luna Freya, Luso, something like that, or like Luso, Luna Freya, some combination of those. So yeah, that is our top 8 for Worlds. I'm hoping to get some lists for maybe top 16 and maybe take a look at those as well, because like I said, this was a very strong year. Anybody could have taken it. There were some really, really cool decks that we saw day one that I really would like to take a look at. But even then, look at how diverse this is in terms of decks, in terms of colors. I think, is there a single color that's not represented here? I don't think so, right? There's lightning, water, there's ice, there's wind, earth, fire. So it looks like, and from speaking to people who actually did attend, the game is in a very healthy state meta-wise. There's nothing I would really change. I know some people might complain about Realm and Refia winning again, but any of these decks could have taken it, to be completely honest with you. If Shonen had won, we would have had a Realm deck in the top, but we also would have had Warriors. Right? I'm very excited to see what happens the rest of the year. Unfortunately, as it always happens with Worlds, just because it happens at the end of the year, we won't see too much of this meta in competitive, which is kind of a shame because it looks like a very healthy and fun meta. Maybe next set won't change too much and we'll still see some of this. But for now, you got a list of things to look at locals and a glance into the health of the game, which to me personally, it looks like I'm very optimistic for. So yeah, that is it. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for staying with me during this yap session. I probably got a bunch of things wrong, so I'm expecting some of the actual good players to correct me in some of the assumptions or analysis that I made. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Please take a look at all the VODs, like I mentioned, in the Square Enix YouTube channel. Take a look at the games. You'll learn so much. Thank you again to the folks at Material Hunter for uploading these decks and having it available for all of us to see in this format and letting people like me yap through it. All right. I'll see you all next time.